I just love the skills and expertise system of 5th edition.
Yeah, the addition of the proficiency modifier really works.
So do you think you could make a character that gets all 18 skills?
I'm sure of it. The question is, how early can we get access to them and what you want to do with expertise?
So that's a great idea. How about we make the ultimate skill character for D&D 5th edition?
Welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdarchy Steve, and as usual, I'm joined by this nerd.
Nerdarchy Ted.
Want to enhance your D&D game? Power them up by hitting that subscribe button.
And it's more Nerdarchy year after. Attune to that notification bell and bring our expertise to your YouTube feed.
Alright, so we're going to jump into our character build guide, and as with all of our character build guides, down in the description, you're going to be able to find two things. One is the character build guide that you can go download over on the DM's Guild. That's pay what you want. You can pay $0 million, whatever, pay what you want. And also the D&D Beyond character sheet, which it's only fair to mention D&D Beyond is a sponsor of Nerdarchy. It's a great resource for all your digital needs when it comes to anything official Dungeons and Dragons.
Whether it be trying to make these characters and character builds, or whether it's researching monsters, researching magic items, whatever it is that you want to do to play D&D, D&D Beyond makes it so much easier.
Link in the description. All right, so first off, we are building the know-it-all character, the character that gets all the skills, but we wanted to do one step further. We wanted to also give it as many expertise as possible. This one was Ted's idea. He loves those skill builds. You know, usually if it's like a super niche thing, that's what I usually want to do. But Ted likes to get everything. Was there any particular inspiration for this build, Ted?
So with Tasha's, when it came out, and with all of the optional things that are in there, we were doing a character build, or character research, not all that long ago, and you came up with or found out about the ranger getting expertise at first level, and I love expertise. I think it allows you to wow, I am really good at this one thing. And, I harken back to my 3rd edition days where I liked poring over the books and trying to find all the ways that one character could do a particular thing. And with this, I'm like, all right, I know you can get expertise from a variety of different places. How many expertise can I put into one 20th level character? So then I got to thinking of all right, can I make an expert? And usually when we do these kind of character builds, it's a back and forth. But this one was entirely me. I just went and found all the different things. I researched on D&D Beyond, all the different ways that a character gets expertise. And I'm like, all right, I think I got this. And I started, pouring through and realized how quickly I could get all 18 skills and how many expertises I could make happen.
Yeah, we're going to get all the skills fairly fast. We're going to get a bunch of expertises. So race options, pretty much, you want any race that gives you access to 2 skills is going to be a winner. I don't think any race is going to give us expertise. So, so we're just looking for races that have 2. There's a bunch.
Right. Now, with the way this build actually works out, any race technically would work, but because of a couple different criteria, half-elf actually just works the best. For background, almost every single one is going to, give you 2 skills. So for this one, background doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form.
All right. So next up, let's place our stats. Then we'll pick our race background and start the level progression.
All right. So with this one, we are going to have to be multi-classing, which we are going to have to satisfy that requirement. So our physicals, we're going to start off with an 8 strength, a 15 dexterity, and a 10 constitution.
For those mentals, we're going to go with a 12 int, a wisdom of 13, and a charisma of 14.
So already you can probably kind of gauge what kind of classes we're looking at, both on what gets expertise naturally, as well as, what things do we already have a 13 or higher in.
Yeah, that's true. So you already mentioned race, half-elf works out the best. So I guess that's where we're going. And what are we going to get from that half-elf?
So we're, the things that are pertinent for this, we're going to take animal handling and acrobatics. Yeah, it looks like I'm just peeling them off the top, but, I felt like that was a nice elven direction to go. They're very dexy. They like nature. So I thought those were good choices that we might not be able to get elsewhere. And for our stats, we're going to obviously get a +2 to charisma, and those floating +1s we're going to put into dexterity and to wisdom.
So dex will go up to a 16, wisdom will go up to a 14, charisma will go up to a 16th. We get a language. We're going to take dwarf. Next up, backgrounds.
So for this one, I chose Acolyte, and this is so that, we've already got a slight religious bent to the character. So that's going to give us insight, it's going to give us religion, and it's going to give us 2 languages. As a very charisma-based character, I figured, give him languages that are going to communicate with regular folk. So we took Halfling and Gnome.
Yeah. Secret is, folks, Ted always wants to go Acolyte. So, classes, we're going to start this level progression. One class seems to get more skills than any other, although, the Ranger is coming up really close in second now. So we're going to start with Rogue, because that's going to give you access to 4 different skills. We're going to take Deception, Intimidation, Sleight of Hand, and Stealth. We're also going to get Thieves' Tools. So, already we're very skill-based with all these skills that we have at our access. But at first level, we're also going to gain expertise. Where should we put that, Ted?
So we're going to make this very, very roguey type character. Let's start off, being roguey. So I'm going to take Stealth, and I'm going to take Sleight of Hand. So we're first level. We've already got access to 8 skills. That's almost half, and 2 expertises. We're doing pretty good here.
So is our Acolyte studying at a church where the god is a god of thieving? Possibly. We also get Thieves' Cant, so we're getting up there with languages as well. Level 2, where do you think we should go next?
So this one, I looked at this Acolyte possibly as a half-elf studying a god of nature. But as he got into studying, he realized that, there were other gods that were out there. And while he does have a fondness for nature, it might not be who he truly wishes to serve. Level 2, we're going to go to Cleric for the knowledge domain, specifically because it's going to give us not only proficiency in 2 skills, but expertise in those skills as well. So this is going to add history and arcana to our skills and expertise list. We are rocking it.
Yeah, we're also going to get 2 more languages, so why not? Draconic and Sylvan, go a little bit rarer. We also get access to the cantrip of guidance, so that's going to make us much better at doing those things. I don't know where Ted's going with this rogue level and this idea that the cleric was interested in religion before. Well, you know what? Maybe we need to work on the story element, but we got those mechanics now. 3rd level, where are we going?
So for this one, as I brought up, Ranger being able to get an expertise at 1st level using the optional rule from Tasha's, this is a perfect jaunt for us. It ties back into that whole nature theme that we were looking at. And, we're going to get, from multiclassing into Ranger, we're going to get the skill of Perception. And then using those optional rules from Tasha's, we can choose another expertise. And for this one, I'm going to put that right into Perception.
Now, we weren't really trying to build this polyglot, but it kind of happened anyway. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But we're also going to pick up 4 languages. We're going to take Goblin, Orc, Gnoll, and Abyssal. Why not? Our favorite entity is humanoids. We want Goblin and Orc. We are rocking the languages at this point. I think we almost have as many languages as we do skills. 4th level, where are we going?
All right, so for this one, we're going to pick up our 4th and last multi-class so that we can begin to hone down on the specific things that we're looking at. So we're going to take a level in Bard. This is going to give us, for multi-classing, another skill and a musical instrument. So since we're a Bard, it's natural that we take Performance. And for this one, lately I've been choosing Lyre as my instrument, so I'm going to select that one.
All right. We also going to get 5th and 6th level in Bard as well. We don't really care about 5th level as much, but that 6th level is going to get us, we're going to get to choose our college. We're going to go College of Lore. Why? Because we get more skills. That's why. We're also at this level going to get expertise for those skills: Persuasion, Medicine, Investigation, and expertise, Performance, and Persuasion. We'll also get access to a spell that's going to be handy.
So this is going to be Enhance Ability, and this is fantastic for this particular character because this is going to allow you to, be able to cast this spell and have advantage on any particular chunk that you're looking at. When you cast it, you select what stat it's going to apply for, and then all skill-based rolls on that are going to be made with advantage. So even though we've got a ton of expertise at this point in time, expertise and advantage is super, and then we can stack a little bit of guidance on top of that, and we are just shining.
So now we're going to take 3 levels of rogue, and the first level we don't even care about, which is level 2, and we get cunning action. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's such a great ability in the game, but it doesn't matter for this build. Level 8 is what we really care about, because that's where we're going to take our archetype. We're going to take scout. We're going to get nature and survival, and we're going to also get expertise in those. 9th level rogue. Or 9th level is rogue as well. This is a super big deal, because we get a ASI, and we're going to take what are we going to take then?
So we're going to take prodigy, and the reason for that is this is going to give us another skill as well as another expertise. So as a 9th level character, we now have, taking athletics, all 18 skills and a boatload of expertises.
Yeah, and we're gonna have expertise in that. We're also going to get a language. I'll mention it. Giant. And also, we're going to take alchemist supplies just because we get another tool proficiency to use. So why not? And so level 10, we're going to go back to Bard.
So Bard is going to give us another ASI. And for this one, we're going to take skill expert. Now, technically, you're supposed to be able to get a skill and an expertise. But we don't have any more skills to take, but I wanted that expertise. So, technically, when you fall into, 5th edition rules, when you get a skill, you can take a tool proficiency. So any tool here works. We just were really looking to get expertise in religion. And, our lowest stat is strength, so we're going to pop +1 into strength there.
Yeah, so I don't know at this point that you would automatically be able, by raw, be able to take a tool, say, if you're playing Adventures League or whatever. But most DMs will probably allow you to do it, so you'd have to check with your DM. If not, whatever. We don't care, because we wanted expertise. We also, it's a half feat, so we're going to get a stat bump, so we don't care that much. Now we're going to move back into Rogue for 2 more levels.
As Dave says, 2 more levels of Rogue. This is going to give us Uncanny Dodge. Very useful in a lot of different scenarios. But, we're moving past that one, because going to 6th level Rogue is going to give us another 2 more expertises. For this one, we're going to take Acrobatics and Insight.
And with that, we're going to leave Rogue, and we're going to go Bard all the way from 13th level to 20th level. A couple things we're going to get here. That inspiration die is going to keep getting better. We're going to get magical secrets. Don't really care about it very much. We're going to start cranking up our charisma until we can finally max it out. I will say the thing that we do care about is when we finally can get access to that 5th level spell, skill empowerment. So, hey, if there is a skill that we don't have expertise in, or we need to give expertise to somebody else, we can absolutely do that. We're also going to get expertise again at 18th level as an 18th level character, which is going to round us out to 15 expertises. And we also are proficient in all the skills. We're going to take a medicine and investigation. And really, that kind of sums up this build. We've got all the skills, 15 expertises. We've got ways of getting advantage. We got guidance. We've got our cutting words if we have to roll off against somebody to lessen theirs, to make ours better. All in all, this is a very skill-heavy character. It's a fun exercise. I don't recommend you play this character. The rest of your party's going to freaking hate you, because you're going to step on everybody's toes when it comes to skills.
This is a ridiculous exercise. As Dave says, 100%. Be careful if you are going to play something like this. So the fact that you are a bard, the fact that you have all of these other things, you can be a fantastic support character. When I came up with this, I had this idea for this, fun-loving, I just crave adventure and I want to go and do all the things. So rather than, a hoity-toity, I'm better than everyone else, it's I'm going to lift you up. You've got the ability to use your bardic inspiration. You've got the ability to offer guidance to other people. You've got the ability to give others advantage, others the expertise that you already have. So you can play this character and not be the super selfish I'm better than you type character. But yes, you be careful playing this because other people could have a problem with it. But I think it's fantastic, and it was a lot of fun, putting all of this together.
I will. There's one thing I will say. This build is technically done at 10th level, right? At 10th level, you have all the skills. We got all the skills at 9th. Go one more level, and now you have 10 expertises. I mean, we max out at 15, but that's still pretty impressive. More than half of your skills you have expertise in, and you have all the skills, and you even have a couple tool proficiencies to work with as well. But now we get into the point where we go, how do you use this in a game as an NPC from the dungeon master side? This is going to be a little bit trickier, I believe, than some of the other things we've done.
All right, so I totally see this one as someone who, the key component here is they've got all the skills. So I see this one as like the helpful professor. They are the quest giver who, they've got the ability to, schmooze and do all of the social skills, but they've got expertise in all of the knowledge things. So if you've got a party that has dumped intelligence, this can be the guide. Hey, we figured this, or we found this thing. What the hell is it? Oh, well, let me take a look at it. Oh, this reminds me of, and you could get into the whole performance angle every time they talk to him. He's got a story to tell. He's got a thing that's out there. So again, going back to, my train of thought when making this dude, he is that love of adventure. So maybe this guy is, beyond the PC. He's older, he's done it all before, but maybe he's advanced in age and he doesn't have quite the fortitude he had in his younger days. So he wants to relive the adventures through what the PCs are doing. It's not really someone that you are designing as a villain that you're going to actually place, but more as that lovable friend that everybody in the town or city knows and has had a conversation with.
So while, I do like that and the idea that, their performance is more of like lecturing and giving lectures. I don't think we need this build to add that kind of NPC into your game, but it definitely works for it, right? Now, the other place that I would say is you introduce this type of character as a foil, where they really are good at everything and know how to know pretty much everything about anything. And they are just there to kind of like pester your characters and show them up and one up them. Now, you wouldn't want to use this guy all the time or that often, but it does make the perfect foil and possible, frenemy to one of the more knowledgeable characters in your party, right? Or all of them, as the case may be, because he knows how to do everything just as good or better than them. So, you could kind of put this like friendly rivalry in. This is someone that probably would be encountered more likely in town than in the wilderness or at the dungeon. Or maybe you do, and like the players they get to a spot where they have to solve a problem. He's already solved it and is like, and is just like very flippant and arrogant about it, and like just gives them the answer and walks off. It's a nuisance character, right? And they, the thing about nuisance characters, you must use them sparingly.
Yes, absolutely. I like the idea of what you're saying about having them be a frenemy. If you happen to play a game where there are adventuring guilds and the like, where people compete for solving a quest or completing a mission, if you will, this would be a kind of a good character to have, basically stealing the thunder and completing the quest ahead of time. But again, as Dave says, use these kind of things very, very rarely, and just to kind of, as Dave says, put a thumb at the nose of those super knowledgeable characters. As DMs, I've had characters in my games that are like super good at skills, and there's times I'm like, man, how the flip are you getting so high? And this is the kind of dude who could come in and show them up. Putting it together, their lowest skill roll is made at a +8. They've got several that are at a +17 at 20th level. So that is just utterly ridiculous. And, yeah.
So with that, hey, if you like this video and you more like it, here's a video where we did a not a character build guide, but a theory crafting character build, the Throne Weapon Master. It's up here somewhere. Click away.
If you enjoyed our character builds and like to support us, why not check us out over on Patreon?
As a special thank you, we deliver 5e content for players and DMs alike, run monthly fan games, and more.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.